Well, hey everybody, this is Don
and Tom.
and you're Tom, and this is Eric Tenkar, and this is a special edition of the Vlog of Many Things. We're going to talk a little bit about something that really cracked today on the airways, newsways, whatever you want to call it, and that is, we want to talk about this. Sorry, sound effects are off a little bit. Today, let me see if I can get this a little bit. There we go. Today we got notified that there has been some criminal activity in North Carolina that has been charged. And just for the sake of this video, we want to let everybody know that, remember, that the individuals we're talking about today have only been charged with a criminal offense. They have not been convicted. And remember that criminal charges can be amended and or dropped. And these individuals are to be presumed innocent until they are proven guilty. Hi guys, how are you?
Great.
I'm actually doing very well today.
Astounding news. I admit I was shocked.
Well, Tammy and I were out bowling. You guys were blowing up the ATM, and we were like, "I will get me home now."
I am sipping from the.
Hmm?
And maybe all good things for you.
Yeah, it's the cup of karma. It's a Stanley cup, but to me, it's the cup of karma.
Yeah, this is the mug of justice. Tom,
there we go.
From? Ice water.
Lame ass. You can't even follow the theme, Eric.
No,
but he's wearing but he is wearing the tie, and he is sitting there wearing the
he's
in the courtroom.
I showed up in the courtroom.
Yep. Paul, how you doing, my friend? Calvinoni, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Yep. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's a cosplay. It's more of a theme.
Yeah, it's harkens back to my high school days. I used to go to school dressed this way.
Well, evidently, just kind of give everybody a background. What happened here is I received a personal message via N-World, and I'm not going to name the individual who sent me the message, but they just said, "Hey, Don, here's a couple of links," and I'm going to real quickly show the link that they showed me. They evidently, for history, for backup, it seems that Justin Lanassa, the old owner of New TSR, and also owner of Adamantite Games now, I believe, is his new game company.
Well, we skipped OSR games.
Yeah, but Adamantite is his current iteration.
Yeah,
because
he's had
he's had New TSR, OSR games. Wasn't there a third one before Adamantite? Guys, you just aren't flowing. Is this Sunday? You guys off today? What's going on here, guys?
Get sharper. It's just that it's so irrelevant in the grand scheme of things that I don't pay attention.
But to be fair, we want to make sure that we have an accurate history so we don't misspeak. So, at any rate, latest game company, Adamantite Games, and I was notified this morning of this. I was sent a link to this. In fact, let me just do this real quick. All right. Now, this is Miss Lanassa. This is Eric, this is Justin Lanassa's wife, Erica. And evidently, she was charged with domestic violence. And this was done on the 22nd. This is her mugshot. Just as a note to everybody, all the information we're going to show today is publicly available online from the Wilmington Sheriff's Department website, mugshots.com and showmymugshot.com. So Nothing here is private, personal, or anything like that. It is all public knowledge. So I got sent this with no notification that Justin got charged with a criminal offense. So then I went ahead, I went to Wilmington's website because I wanted to take a look at more. And it turns out Justin is the victim in this assault. Am I right so far?
Yes.
You are correct so far. But it's New Hanover Sheriff's Office.
Sorry, New Hanover. My apologies. You're right, Eric. So
Yes.
a little bit digging more into this. Go ahead.
No, well, here.
Did
No, did
I think
that
Eric's
was
Eric,
What's
your
up?
video is breaking up a little bit.
really all right.
yeah.
I'm not even. I don't even see my. I just. All right. I don't even see my video on the screen. I don't see anybody's video except for the. There we go.
There we go.
So the incident happened on the 20th. It was reported on the 22nd. So that's why there's a difference between the incident date and the arrest date when it comes to Erica. And that's why the locations are different, because it's the incident location, which they're saying it's a certain block. That would generally mean that it happened outdoors. It wasn't an indoor location. It happened outside. And then reported 2 days later, and the arrest time is literally the I guess the time that they took her downtown, I guess, as we would say.
Yeah, because noting this, it shows that Justin then, on the 31st, was charged with possession, selling non-tax paid alcoholic beverage. And now I don't know if that's a felony or a misdemeanor. But
I was just reading the statute, and the it's either it's for possession, transport, or selling of the non-tax paid alcohol. And I was looking to see if it would specify that this was moonshine. My thought is maybe he had bought from somebody. Somebody had moonshine, and he bought for them for his personal consumption, and maybe, she might have let drop, or as they say, drop the dime at the sheriff's office when she was arrested.
Right.
well, I mean, she according to the information that we have, and keep in mind this is all breaking information. I'm sure as the days come out in this coming week, more information is going to come out more accurately. But as far as what I could discern, she was arrested for domestic violence. Justin is listed as the victim of this domestic violence. And Eric, didn't you research this out and it take place near a school or close to one?
It only one location of any importance on that block. The block actually ends at a school. It was a family tree school. Was it family friends?
Friends School of Wilmington.
Friends School of Wilmington.
Which means it's a Quaker school.
Right. Yeah, it's a Quaker school. So I guess there wasn't any pacifism going on at that time. Just
Not that afternoon.
not that afternoon.
So basically the breakdown of this is some incident happened involving a domestic incident. Erica Reichlin was in fact arrested and charged. Justin is listed as the victim. Somebody's getting feedback on their audio, by the way. And so Erica's mugshot, which to me is very interesting, she doesn't look like she's been crying. She looks a little bit pissed off.
Right.
So, granted, I mean, a mugshot's not a fun thing to have. I mean, I admit that. But, given her close proximity to the business dealings of Justin and such, I'm not sure charging your wife with domestic violence was the smartest thing to do in the world, you know?
I have a feeling that because the time of the incident of the assault was 2:30, it was 14:30.
Drop. Yep.
So that's 2:30. That's the time you pick up your kid from school. And it seems that like both of them went there to pick up the kid and then she assaulted him.
Yeah, I don't know the details. There is a police report PDF attached to the incident online. If you go to the sheriff's department and you do a search case, this is what pulls up. And as you can see, there is a report PDF, but that report PDF is very blank. It's lacking a lot of info. Yeah.
Oh, doesn't really
And,
have like explanation of the incident.
No, there's no narrative.
No, they don't. I am going to tomorrow morning do a FOI on this incident, and I'm going to see if I can pull it for the Vlog of Many Things, because the Vlog of Many Things is a news reporting vlog, and we want to keep up on gaming news. And since Mr. Lanasa is a quote-unquote well-known game publisher, we want to make sure that we report, but we report accurately also. So, but what's interesting here to me is 520 simple assault incident, which is, Eric, can you explain this? Because I was confused.
Okay. Well, a simple assault, every state calls it different. Like New York State, it would be a misdemeanor assault. Misdemeanor. A simple assault means that you struck somebody, generally speaking, no weapon, no item. You would say hands, fists, feet, and you caused pain or injury, not a serious injury. You could have caused bruising, you caused discomfort, you caused pain. You didn't break any bones, you didn't cause any cuts that required stitches. That would leave it in a misdemeanor. Now, the thing is, with most states, the moment that you report a domestic violence incident, they are must arrest situations. There's no discretion given to officers in most states. One, you can't say, I want you to take a report and you can stay right there. No, you report it, and the aggressor goes in cuffs. It's just the way it is.
Real quick, in all fairness to Mrs. Lanasa, all it took was she hit me and there's an arrest made. Because that's the way it is in Michigan.
Pretty much. I mean, again, it was reported over 2 days, like I don't know, 54 hours or 50. It was reported a little bit over 2 days after the incident. So when the cops are going to show up, they're going to ask. They're going to look for bruising, scratching, but it's 2 days prior. So, I mean, that in and of itself is probably good for Erica, because it's going to just make the case a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm. And then what does this red exclamation point, because I thought earlier when I read simple assault that he was charged with simple assault, but you clarified to me.
Right. And apparently, according to their website, that red is just their graphic for an incident. Okay. So that just shows up when you're running it. So that's why it shows one incident and it shows 2 arrests, because the incident happened on the 20th, but the arrest.
But the arrest happened on the 24th. Okay.
I'm
only repeating you, Eric, because you're breaking up just a little bit, just to let you know.
Okay, really? All right, so the arrest is on the 22nd.
So the incident's on the 20th, the arrest on the 22nd. And
right,
then,
and the report was taken on the 22nd, right before the arrest.
So, here's the thing. I think in all fairness to Erica, This could have actually just been one of those things where something was said and then she slapped him. And then he sat on that for a couple of days and then decided, you know what? I'll use this. I mean, that's what I kind of tend to think it was. I mean, I don't know that we've heard of any domestic violence in their relationship before this, have we?
I've never heard of any domestic violence or any issues between them. As a matter of fact, before their Facebook pages got locked down, when you looked at their interpersonal, the way their relationship appeared in an impersonal way, they looked very happy, very, husband wifey. But Sketchosaur Rex made this comment, said, "Who are they? Why should we care? What games did they make?"
Who wants to take
Tom,
that?
go ahead.
Well, all right. So Justin Lanassa swooped in. Somebody was looking to buy the original building that the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is in and open it up as a museum type gift shop, game store in the original location of the original TSR store. And Justin managed to, he got wind of this and he got in there. And so he opened it up. He then began producing games and squatting on trademarks that belong to Wizards of the Coast. And in the course of squatting on those trademarks, he began producing a racist, homophobic version of Star Frontiers called Star Frontiers New Genesis. That was just a horror show of the worst stuff you could imagine. And so he's been running this Dungeon Hobby Shop claiming that it's the birthplace of D&D when it's actually not. He's been attacking everybody left and right, attacking Eric, attacking myself, attacking Dawn. I mean, Dawn's got Kickstarters with games that have had anonymous reports sent to customs that we can't, so there's all sorts of stuff that has gone on with this individual. And, it's coming to a head now is what is really going to happen. And I predicted this 2 years ago. I said, when Wizards of the Coast starts getting judgments and there starts becoming monetary judgments, his wife's not going to sit by quietly, because of the 20 properties that Justin owns, 10 of them have her name on the property. So when these things start having liens put against them, or a property gets seized and as part of a judgment, I predicted that there was going to be a falling out between them, and maybe this is the beginning of it.
Well, I want to highlight two comments made here real quick. DK Channel Boredom says, "You said, quote unquote, in all fairness to Erica several times, all while sharing her mugshot on the stream for the world to see." This individual then followed up and said, "We know Justin is a giant douchebag and then some, but no need to share the mugshot here." I want to address that real quick. DK Channel Boredom, the vlog of many things, as you can see at the very top, it says interviews, news, reviews, help and support. This is gaming news. Justin Lanassa is a publisher of note for various reasons. He has made a very public, his life is very public. He's ran for public office several times. He has personally attacked all three individuals on this video right now, plus a myriad of other people using his name and company name very publicly. The reason why we are showing the mugshot is because, number one, it's the truth, it's news, and it just happened. It's breaking. Just like with any other news broadcast, they show mugshots when people are charged. We have been very careful here to ensure at the very beginning, and this is the reason why we are talking the way we are, that in all fairness, again, the person's only been charged. Just like if Eric was arrested or Tom or myself, that would be reported. And it would be reported in all fairness. And I honestly think all three of us are being very fair here when we are ensuring that we're saying, look, we're just reporting what happened. I'm not offering any personal opinion as to guilt or innocence. Neither is Tom or nor is Eric. So yes, that's what we do on this channel. We report the news as it happens, and I think that this is fairly
Nobody's
significant news.
condoning domestic violence, female to male, male to female.
That's right. Absolutely. Tammy's 100% right.
And the only reason we don't have Justin's mugshot is it's not available yet.
Yes. And Sketchrover says, I heard the new Star Frontiers, but nothing else. I try to catch your streams and videos. Thank you very much. And David Flores says, what does non-tax paid alcoholic beverage mean exactly? Let me go to the actual statute that Tom pulled up. This is the actual statute. Under 18B-111, non-tax paid alcoholic beverages says no person may possess, transport, or sell non-paid taxed alcoholic beverages except as authorized by ABC law. ABC, I believe, is Alcohol Bureau of something.
Alcohol beverage control.
Thank you. Alcohol beverage control law, 1981. Yada yada yada. So, David, in answer to your question, as far as exactly what that means, it could mean a lot of things, like Tom said earlier. So again, I'm going to do a FOI request both on Justin and his wife tomorrow, so we can more accurately report on this as it happens. I also want to show one more thing is when you go to New Hanover County, and this is again public record, open search. This is what pulls up when you search for Justin Lanasa. They only allow a 180-day back search. So anything past that, it will error out. So I don't know if anything prior to this in the last year or two has been done. Let's see
As
here.
to the alcoholic beverage, my mother was a IRS agent, and she worked in the Carolinas. I believe she worked out of the Raleigh office. And one of the things that she consistently dealt with audits concerning non-tax paid out, was basically moonshine.
Right.
But also, in all fairness, what this also could be is like in Michigan. Michigan has an extremely high cigarette tax. So there's been places before, like little mom and pop party stores would go down to Indiana where there's very low tax, and they would buy like 15, 20 cases of cigs, bring them up to Michigan and sell them behind the counter. So it could be something like that. I mean, it could be a myriad of things. Basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, the only thing that I get out of this is evidently he didn't pay tax. Instead of sales tax this time, he didn't pay his alcohol tax on something that he was selling. So I don't know exactly.
Well, we don't even know if he was selling it. It says
possess.
Now, the law as written covers a large number of options, but you can definitely say he was, according to this, that he's being charged with, at the very least, possession untax paid alcoholic beverages. Or beverage. I'm assuming we won't get further details until the court appearance later on this month.
Yeah. Real quick, Redcap says this. He says there's also an obvious element of well-justified Schnurfrude about the situation as well. Karma could not find a nicer grifter to visit. Again, the comments section in here are the opinions and comments of the commenters and not necessarily our own. Local 433 Gumby says nothing wrong with getting charges filed. She probably finally realized how much of a dookie he is. I would contribute to her defense fund if needed. And then also David Floor says bootlegging ? So hard telling. We're going to find out. But what is interesting here to me though is that this is another thing. I mean, he currently has a appeal going on in the case that you successfully had dismissed, Eric.
Correct. Yep.
And then he also has potential. Well, he has a bankruptcy that just is being finalized. I believe now officially was finalized late last week, or will be finally red stamp of approval this week through TSR. And then he has a current pending lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast, which he is he's the original plaintiff in it, but he was also a counter defendant because they filed against him back, countersued. So, and there's some ambiguity there about as far as what the situation is. And now he has a charge against his wife. And now another criminal charge against him about taxes paid.
Oh, it's what is that Chinese curse? May you live in interesting times. I would guess that's very interesting times right now.
Well, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but I'm going to say something here that might upset his crew. But how long has he been attacking me personally and saying criminal charge? I'll quote him. Did he say in the bankruptcy hearing against me that I actually had criminal charges pending right at that point against me?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
I haven't been arrested yet. And now he's being charged. So, sorry, but you know what?
We were wondering what was going on with the meltdown that started this past week. And, so we were speculating quite a bit on that. And apparently this was going on in the background.
Well, not saying, though, that it was him with the meltdown online, because it was anonymous.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
So just want to clarify that. But Climbing the Mountain says, wait, what? Arrested? I've missed a lot. Oh, yeah. Go to N-World, the new and glorious history of new TSR. They're actually really banging on it right now. DK Channel Boredom says, I think it's unclassy to share his wife's mugshot here. I understand that you're beefs with Justin totally and understand why you'd go after him full throttle or not bringing a mugshot. No, it's public record, and it is what it is. There's nothing unclassy about it. We are a news vlog, and that is what we do here. And sometimes you post things that you need to post. Go ahead, Tom, if you want to read that.
Yeah, I said I was responding to Climbing That Mountain. He had his wife arrested, and then someone dropped a dime on him for non-tax paid alcohol.
Yeah. And Rod says, just saw this and joined. I'm sure the three of you have more reason than most to take joy in this. As someone who isn't on his radar, I'd caution against assumptions. He'll get his in the end. I'm not making assumptions, Rod. We're being very careful here. I agree with you. And I'm going to be honest with you. Actually, joy is the wrong word to use. To charge your wife with domestic violence is just a wow to me. I mean, my wife has never hit me or did anything like that, but I could never do that to my wife. I mean, I would take whatever happened and I would walk it off and shake it off. I mean,
well, who wants to admit their wife beat them up?
True.
Yeah.
Rod says, although I heard it's hard to make anonymous tips to customs from channel. Yeah, I heard that too. Climbing the Mountain says they can take the yacht and mansion as long as they don't take his tank. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Keith Ulu says, thanks for tuning in our video. I think you're new here. To quote Lister from Red Dwarf, what the seg is going on? And then Sketchosaurus Rex says, it's reporting just like televised news station. They show mugshots all the time. That's exactly what it is. It is, we're not saying something that happened 5 years ago or 20 years ago, trying to bring up the damage. This happened Friday. The last incident happened Friday. It all happened within the last 2 weeks. This is news. This is pending. We're a news vlog, and this is, again, what we do.
Yeah. And I'm still looking for the papers that I was supposed to receive from him.
Well, I mean, sadly, I think what's going on here is that it's almost like he's the Jeremy DeWitt of gaming. Um, for those of you who wonder who Jeremy DeWitt is, just simply go on YouTube and look him up. He's from Florida. He's quite the guy. Um, but at the end of the day, what I find really sad here is this has been such a horrible thing for the gaming community in general, all of it. And I really think that what's really sad here is there was a chance here. You know, a lot of old school guys like Cask and Ward before he tragically passed away, and everybody else that's involved with the gaming of TSR in the 80s could have really been brought in and made this a positive thing, but from the very beginning it was subjugated and it was really twisted in a bad way. Red Cap says, guys, let's not go down that route. Men that get abused should be reporting that stuff. The whole be a man without taking it, that does not need to go away. Agreed 100% away. What I'm saying, though, is this. With me personally, and I've never been in the situation where my wife has harmed me or hit me in any way. I'm just saying that if she did, I personally couldn't put my wife in jail. Unless it was like extreme, you know what I mean? Like really, really did something crazy. I mean, there's differences there, but I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Eric and Tom, although I would love to on this because I think I know what they're going to say, follow this. But I don't in any way endorse domestic violence. If you're a victim of domestic violence, yes, you should report it. You should report it to police immediately.
Great.
No, I agree with that too. But and then there's a certain but to put into this. If you're in a situation, this is just an observation, where you know that there's public scrutiny on you and your actions and what's going on, probably because you're involved in multiple legal actions and other stuff, you would generally think, and maybe this is what happened today, with this one, because it took 2 days to report, that maybe, you don't want it in public. In this case, it's in public. All right. Everybody makes their own choice on that. I was a cop for 20 years. I arrested many for violence. I took many reports for domestic violence. It's a horrible thing. And that men can be victims of it, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
I think our observation is, God forbid I pissed Rachel off enough that she came along and smacked me. I'd say, what did I do to deserve that? And I was probably being an asshole. It happened a second time. Maybe. It's now something, but if...
Well, I don't really know how to punch.
Yeah, Rachel doesn't know how to punch, so, it's not... I'm going to be like, what was that? Come on. But, listen, we used... And this is just a side note. We used to joke when I was working... It was very easy. Rachel Bruce walked through the hallway. All I'd have to do is
like my arm will meet the doorknob. And it's big.
So I mean, if I was an asshole at home, there was a very easy way to get me modified or suspended by my job because it would be easy to happen. I'm not saying that's what happened in this case. Again, we don't know. All we know is that 2 days after the incident, a report was made and an arrest was made.
Mm-hmm. Against Justin.
Yes.
Now, I want to say,
was the victim.
I want to make one thing painfully clear here about Justin. I will back 1,000% Justin in his right to report an assault made against him. He has every right, and I don't care if that's his wife, I don't care if it's his brother, cousin, Joe Blow. If that man is assaulted, he has all right based on the situation, because I wasn't there. We don't know. We don't know what the background situation is. We don't know if this is a one-time event, the 50th event, like you just said, Eric, if it was the second time or third time, right. Type thing. So we don't know what the background is. So although it's very, very well known that I do not get along with Justin very much, I will back him 1,000% in his right to defend himself by calling law enforcement.
Because you want to address it before it escalates.
Well, because the solution to this, and I'm going to talk about as a man with my wife, the solution is never to hit back. The solution is never to assault back. Get a hold of law enforcement, let them deal with it in an appropriate manner.
Right.
Optional rule says, what in the world is happening now? Optional rule, you can just watch this video. You can go to End World and search out the new and glorious history of new TSR, and it's all there. Redcap says, I get your sentiment and personally agree that I can't envision ever being in that situation, but just figure it's fair enough to keep this separate from the person involved. You are 100% right, Redcap. Thank you, by the way, also for kind of realigning me a little bit on that thinking. Let's see here. Optional rule, End World, apparently yes. And then Local 433 Gumby says, sorry, I'm CG, and he's no victim till she grabs a bat. Well, I mean, everybody has their definition of, okay? And you're entitled to it. But, so real quick, just a question for the gentleman here in this panel and also anybody in comments. Eric, you were a police officer. I know New York law differs from North Carolina law, most likely, but what is the next steps in something like a domestic violence charge like this? What can Erica expect in a roundabout way?
Well, in New York State, this would be put through generally a family court. Okay, so
they have family justice center in the court, which is assistance with getting like petitioning the judge for an order of protection.
Yes, an order.
Like an order basically dictating certain behaviors. Like they'll assess the situation, and like if the victim is saying that the aggressor has respect for the law and would abide like just by behavioral changes, like that, if he's ordered not to hit me, then he wouldn't do that.
There'd be a PPO, like in Michigan, automatically, instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so like they could be just completely barred from the home.
Right.
How can a PPO, I mean, how's that going to work then? Because if there's a PPO, because in Michigan, automatically, I did a little research, automatically in domestic violence, husband or not, wife or not, there's a PPO and the instigator cannot come back to the home. So I wonder if that's the same in North Carolina, because that's a weird, because there's a little one involved, and we're not going to name her name. She is a little one. She's a darling, by the way. Absolutely wonderful little girl.
I know that when I was working, you could get an order of protection, but it could. Some of these orders of protection are very limited in scope, and it can be an order of protection where you two still cohabitate, but it puts other restrictions that you cannot raise your voice, you cannot.
Yeah.
It's behavioral stuff.
Yeah.
They can put restrictions on drug or alcohol use. There's a lot of things that can get put into these orders in order to attempt to keep it from the action from repeating. All right. And it's different than going generally, like I said, domestic violence.
Right. Or
usually
you could get mandated to a program to address domestic violence.
Right. That's usually rates that's if they get more, if there's more incidents. Usually
it escalates.
Right. Usually your first incident, the court wants to intervene. There likely is no criminal charges, criminal sentence involved.
Gotcha.
Going to be, it might be taking an anger management course.
Right.
It may also mean, however, getting child services involved with the family.
But wouldn't like an anger management course be post of event? I mean, they can't order you to take anger management with a pending charge because you're not convicted.
That can be part of the negotiation. You don't before conviction. They can tell one of the things they can do is you can take the anger management course. You complete the course. We will dismiss the charges. These are all things that the court will use to to, they don't want to destroy families.
Diversion program.
It's a, like you said, it's a diversion program. They don't want to destroy families. If usually, again, if it's the first incident, they're going to try to see how can we help this? How can we fix this? Not how can we send somebody to jail? That's generally
that's
not
not usually the.
So.
Yeah, especially if it's like a first offense for a domestic or something like that. The problem with the domestic violence issue is that, like in Erica's and Justin's case, they're married. There is a little one involved. So the end result or the goal of the court would not be, I believe, and I might be wrong here, but wouldn't the goal be is to get the family back together in a cohesive manner, in a peaceful manner?
Yes,
that's certainly it. But again, because of the domestic violence, you can suddenly find yourself having child services involved going forward.
Especially given that, I guess, where the incident happened, you guys were saying it was in.
We don't. It happened near a school.
And then we also have like that report that didn't have a narrative, so that narrative might not be up there because of certain situation and confidential stuff that could have happened.
It could be. We don't know.
I had a video. I just had a PM from a person in the comments that cited North Carolina law regarding can the victim, will there be a PPO? This is what the law says specifically. When one is charged with a domestic violence criminal offense, the person is typically arrested and a bond must be set in order to be released. In domestic violence cases, the judge almost always orders that the defendant stay away from the alleged victim as part of the condition of release. Interesting. By the way, thank you very much. If you want to come in comments and say, I'm the one who sent it, I'll be happy to acknowledge you, but I'm just keeping the person's name out of it just in case.
I feel that there's part of this story we don't know yet. That
lots of it we don't know yet.
Yeah, that we don't know.
Number one, the inciting incident, the domestic violence happened at the time that kids are dismissed from school. I mean, there's still a question in my mind: is this the school that their kid goes to? Tammy took a very good look at it, a very close look at their website, and said, "No, it's just a good school. Don't read too much into it that it's a Quaker school. That it's just a very good school, and maybe they've just decided to put their kid into a private school." But you have both parents showing up. And to me, and maybe I'm wrong on this, it just seems like that's just something one parent does. But both parents showed up to pick up the kid, and then you had this assault. And I think there's something going on there that we don't know what that story is yet. And then, a couple of days later, charges are pressed. And then a couple of more days later, suddenly you've got some other charge going against the other guy, in this. And so I think there's some byplay here.
There's lots.
We don't have the full story too.
Yep. Real quick, Rod says, as a child of abusive and sociopathic parents, I only hope their kid is protected and people tell her she's a good person regardless of her parents. That shouldn't get missed here.
Yes.
100% agreed. And I'm sure, Rod, that like with most states, in these situations, the court is going to definitely make sure that the child is well cared for and taken care of. And I will say something real quick. In my dealings with Justin, what I saw with Justin regarding his little girl was he doted on her. So I've never seen physical abuse, starving. If anything, quite the opposite. A very, very well cared for, spoiled little girl, like all little girls should be spoiled. I got 4 of them. I spoiled the hell out of my 4 little girls. So I'll give Justin that. Ann Randall Porter says, hey, can we have a recap? So we've been on this for 45 minutes. Shall we do a real quick recap and call it a Sunday?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Want me to do a recap? Anyone else? What do you guys want me to do or what?
I already did.
You can do it. If we need to jump in, we'll jump in.
Okay, Randall. Basically, what happened was this: is news broke yesterday that Justin's wife Erica was charged with domestic violence. After more looking and more people looking into this, it turned out that came to light that Justin was in fact the victim of this domestic violence in this incident that it appeared. And then it evidently happened on Friday. Justin was charged with possession or selling of non-Pax Tade alcoholic beverage, quote unquote. So at this point, nobody really knows dynamically of why the assault happened. Nobody knows the things leading up to it, etc., etc., etc. It was just that. So yeah, that's basically where it sits right now.
And I think we should get the N-World link.
Yeah, I'm going to go real quickly, pull it up here real quick.
That should go in the show notes or in the live chat.
I'm going to go into the live chat with it.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to take it. Let me go right here, copy. And everybody, I'm just going to post a link into the show notes here. That way, there it is. Oh, Climbing the Mountain also says, it seems Yahtzee is a game that can get out of control. Soon people feel like they're trapped in a bunker and maybe start doing crazy stuff. History rhymes. So there's the link, everybody. You can go to it, or you can simply go to N-World and type in the full glorious history of new TSR, and it'll pull right up. It's over 1,000 pages.
Oh yeah,
so,
it keeps growing.
Yeah,
a lot of
it keeps going. So again, Eric, Tom, thank you very much. I mean, we wanted to get this reported immediately as it happens. We'll probably do some follow-ups. I'm sure other vloggers will be doing that. For everybody watching this, if you go ahead and hit a subscribe, that would help us a lot. Also, go over to Tom's channel, Tabletop Tap Room. Hit a subscribe on his channel. And also Eric at 10 Cars Tavern. Go ahead and hit a subscribe on his channel. Help our channels grow. We appreciate it. And everybody, this is Don.
And this is Tom.
And this is Eric.
And this is the Vlog of Many Things signing off. Everybody, have a good Sunday and have a safe week. And we'll be doing more videos later.
Thank you.